Here's what's awesome. Watch the rear steer for just a second. Like, he's throttling through it. He's starting to mess. Him and Weston Anderson are so good at this. Let's talk about viral moments in the sport of Monster Jam. And I feel like I get to do this because I got the 2025 Viral Moment of the Year award, but we're not going to break down that moment for me because it got a couple million views. I want to talk about a moment that across social media, one specific page in particular, that Ryan Anderson sidewall save from Tampa got 175 million views from one post. All right? That is what a viral moment is all about. And it was also cool because Ryan had kind of been searching all season long for like that freestyle run that he knew that he was capable of, that the SonUvaDigger team is known for. And he kind of fought it for the first couple weekends. And that Tampa moment was like, oh, it got the weight off of his shoulders, right? The monkey off of his back, and felt like he'd finally arrived back into that 2025 season, and it kind of settled him in. And so I want to talk about that moment though, because not only was the moment cool, not only was it cool that one page got 175 million views, but it's also cool just the response and the reactions from the crew guys and all of the drivers. By the way, shout out to the Starr Creations guys. They make a ton of our fiberglass bodies in the sport of Monster Jam. They're partnered so well with Feld Motorsports and Monster Jam. Even though most of our bodies still come out of the shop in Florida, these guys help us keep pace with the demand because we're putting these fiberglass bodies through a lot. And so the Starr guys were there. And their shop's not that far from the Buccaneers Stadium in Tampa. And so they always come out. We get to see them. It's always a lot of fun. And they just shot this video of Ryan's moment, posted it. And that Starr Creations post is right now, as of today, up to 175 million views. Ryan Anderson told me this season that he attributes about 150,000 of his Instagram followers coming from just that one video. That is so awesome. That is what the sport of Monster Jam is all about, okay? And so let's break this down because it's so cool just to watch, not just what set up the run, but also like the reactions from the crew and the drivers here. So we're going to play it in full speed, and then I'll come back and point out a couple things. Here we go.
Huge air! Under the 10-second mark. Oh, with the bicycle.
I love it. All right. Okay. So Ryan is obviously not a stranger to sidewall saves. Like, he does them quite a bit in the skills competition, and he kind of sets it up for some of that. At least he's prepared for it if the situation arises. I think that's what this was. It was just a situational thing where the truck set up into one. Of course, he's going to take advantage of whatever situation the truck gives him and the track gives him, and then he capitalized on it. So first and foremost, let's talk about the big air. You've seen some of the other driver breakdowns I've done. We're not going to spend a ton of time, but I do think Ryan did a phenomenal job at trying to get the truck straight again after he was turning away from the backflip. So he had just hit the backflip, didn't quite get the moonwalk, and then just 1-2 shifted and trying to line this thing up straight. He didn't pedal the truck. He just said, look, we're going to give it all we've got, all 1,500 horsepower to get this thing airborne. All right. You can see in the last second, there's a little bit of a steering correction he made in the front. See that right there? Boom. He was kind of turning to the left. Well, it was the correct correction, because even though you can see his front tires are still turned to the left, which means he felt it driving probably to the right, and he was trying to steer out of that landing. But look at how crisp. Look at that. I love a good front to back landing like that. I think the shocks do too. And it just dissipates more energy. But all of his throttle rhythm, all of the tire speed, it was all perfect. You're going to get some form of rebound. And it was interesting too. Look at that. So it was turned to the left quite a bit more until he almost landed, and he came back straight with it. But a large part of that, because the truck was driving to the right and it went to that front to back, that's why the truck was starting to fall to its right as he was trying to collect it off of the pod right there. Obviously, as you're collecting it off of a big jump, you just hit whatever's in front of you. And he just hit that with his left tires, and it automatically set him up into a bicycle. And that was one of those things where, like, he was just making good in a tough situation straight into a sidewall save. Here's what's awesome. Watch the rear steer for just a second. Like, he's throttling through it. He's starting to mess. Him and Weston Anderson are so good at this. He's starting to kind of tickle that rear steer and trying to get the back of the truck to grab in a different way. And so if he wouldn't have gotten the rear steer to work for him, he probably just would have been on a sidewall forever. And I know he's had some of those moments too. But as soon as he kind of tickles that rear steer and turns it to his right, which is going to turn the tires to the left, that back right tire starts to grab and find some of that traction. The best and most important thing to save a sidewall is knowing when to hit the brakes. Because you're getting so much tire speed going, at some point you want to stop that tire speed. Whenever Ryan feels the back of the truck kind of whipping around about right here, he's already on the brakes. That's because Ryan knows what he's doing, okay? And I love it. And it almost does a whole nother rotation. Isn't that crazy? Think about the G forces that he's experiencing there. One quick thing, I'll just vent, because I teased Tristan England about this. When he has his lights on the JCB Digatron truck and he's doing it in the middle of someone else's run, it drives me nuts. It's his way of like saying hey to the drivers and stuff like that. I pick on him for it. This is not a serious rebuke or anything. It's like, relax, Tristan. It's not your moment, all right? It's Ryan's. Leave your lights off. Okay, so other than that, look above the truck from Ryan right here. That's our crew seating. So you see some of the crew guys. I'm up there. Now watch us as Ryan is going into this sidewall save. Let me turn the volume down just a touch. All right, let's watch that again. Look at us jumping up and down. We know a save's coming, and then right there we explode because we know that the run is over. What a way to end a freestyle run itself. And we just absolutely loved it. Okay, you got Kayla up there, Matt Pagliarillo, and I think I'm right behind. I've got my arms like up like this because I'm just so excited for him, knowing that he's kind of been battling the freestyle competition all season long. And then I just start exploding, right? It's like, yes, I felt like a proud brother or something. So that was such a cool moment for Ryan Anderson and the entire SonUvaDigger team, and really just the entire sport of Monster Jam as a whole. And like I said, anytime a moment like that gets 175 million views off of one post, and then that doesn't even include everyone else's post or Monster Jam's specific post, but it gets me so pumped up to just think about what's next for 2026. So send me some videos. What do you want me to break down next? What's something that maybe you thought was a cool moment that you would just like a driver's perspective on, and maybe we can uncover something about that moment that you never knew before. If you haven't yet, make sure you like and subscribe this channel, so we have a lot more coming your way.